Regulator member responsible for gas as well as electricity, and I am chairing today's meeting. With me today, I am joined by the chairperson of the energy regulator, Mr. Thembani Bukula, and I would like to request Mr. Bukula to greet so that you can relate to his voice when he speaks during the meeting. Mr. Bukula.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bukula. Next, I would like to introduce Madam Precious Sibiya, who is the member of the Pipe Gas Subcommittee, also the chairperson of the Audit and Risk at NERSA. Madam Sibiya.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to the NERSA team, and also good morning to the members of the public. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lastly, for today's meeting, we are joined by the member primarily responsible for petroleum pipelines, Mr. Musuvukile Mkhize, and he is also the member of the Pipe Gas Subcommittee and other committees of the Energy Regulator. Mr. Mkhize.
Good morning, Chairperson, members, NERSA team, as well as the members of the public that are joining us through the various live streaming platforms. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mkhize. At this point, members, we do have the proposed agenda before us with one change, members, which is item number 9. Item number 9 is a governance matter, and therefore it will be discussed under governance matters. With that change, members, are you happy to approve the agenda by showing your support by raising your hand? Members, please. Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Thank you, Madam Sibiya. And Mr. Bukula, are you also happy? Thank you very much, Mr. Bukula, for supporting the agenda. Just the correction for the record, this is meeting number 203, not 204, as I mentioned earlier. I think that is important in terms of the record. Members, we are now on the declaration of interest for this meeting. There are forms that have been uploaded for members to complete and submit. But if there is any verbal interest that members would like to make for today's agenda, please feel free to do so by raising your hand. It seems there is none, members. I am comfortable with that. I would like to then proceed to the reports that are here for approval. Starting from item number 5, it is the report on the monitoring of Transnet Pipelines, a subsidiary of Transnet SOC Limited. It is the compliance with the approved transmission tariff for the period 1st April 2024, ending 31st March 2025. Please take us through the report.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I will take the submission as read. Before members is the report on the monitoring of Transnet Pipelines compliance with the approved transmission tariff for the period 1 April 2024 to 31st March 2025. And the report is for approval by the Pipe Gas Subcommittee. Chair, the submission is in line with Section 4H as well as Section 22 of the Gas Act, which aims to monitor the implementation of the regulator's approved transmission tariffs and to ensure compliance and that there are no unfair discrimination between customers. Chairperson, to conduct this analysis, we requested Transnet to supply us with invoice for the period under review, which is attached as Annexure A in this submission. I would like to draw members' attention to Table 2 of the submission, which monitors Transnet's compliance with Section 4H of the Gas Act. And as reflected in Table 2, Transnet complied with Section 4H of the Gas Act when it charged its customer a transmission tariff equal to the approved tariff of R9.13 per gigajoule for the period 1 April 2024 to 31st March 2025. Chair, in terms of compliance with Section 22 of the Gas Act, Transnet submitted that they have one customer at the moment, and in the absence of any other customer receiving gas directly from Transnet, Section 22 of the Gas Act is not applicable for the period under review, which is 1 April 2024 to 31st March 2025. Chair, table 3 and 4 just provide additional analysis, which aims to see if there is any discrepancy between projected volumes and the actual transmitted volumes for the period, which may potentially attract clawback or give back in the next application period. And as reflected in table 4 of the submission, Transnet transmitted 5% more gas volumes through the pipeline than originally projected in their transmission tariff application. Lastly, Chairperson, the recommendations are on page 8 under section 14. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mhlongo. Let me check if members have any questions of clarity on this submission. By show of hands, members, if you do. It seems members are comfortable with the report. It's straightforward. With that, then, members, if you can show by raising your hand that you are in support of the recommendations that Transnet has complied, and that section 22 on discrimination is not applicable during the period under review. I have Mr. Mkhize supporting the decision, as well as Madam Sbiya. I also support, as well as Mr. Pukula. Thank you very much, members, for that. We now moving on, members, to item number 6 of the agenda. Item number 6 is the 3-year rolling compliance inspections plan, as well as the audits to be conducted on licensed activities, also on licensed facilities for the period 2025-26, for 2026-27, and 2027-28. Please introduce the submission for the members, taking them through what are the key areas to focus on in the next 3 years.
Thank you, Chair. This is the 3-year rolling compliance inspection and audit plan on the licensed facilities and registered facilities for the financial years of 2025-26 up until the year 2027-28. The purpose is to request the Pipe Gas Subcommittee to approve the proposed plan related to the compliance inspections, as well as the audit on the Romco pipeline. Chair, this report should have been considered at the beginning of this financial year, but due to the updates on the decommissioned facilities brought forward by Sasol Gas in March 2025, the entire report needed to be revised so that we capture the correct statistics of the active facilities belonging to Sasol. So due to the longest number of that facilities, it took us this long to bring it forward for this PGS. The 3-year rolling plan inspection is aligned with the NESA's APP of each year from 2025-2026, 2026-2027, and 2027-2028. The APP, however, does not specify the number of sites that needs to be inspected in each of this financial year, but gives indication of one report on compliance with license condition to be submitted by end of financial year, and also one audit on Romco pipeline to be submitted at the end of each financial year. So as a result, the compliance team decided to continue with the same number of sites to be inspected in a year, as the same as the previous year, so which was 50 sites. And then the criteria that was used to select the facility to be inspected, it is a race-based inspection approach that was used, ma'am. And then this race-based inspection approach is a systematic approach that prioritizes inspection resources based on the risk levels, balancing the safety, reliability, and the cost efficiency in the oil and gas operation. So for the purpose of this RBI approach, for the compliance monitoring and audit inspection and audits, the following were considered, and that was the license area that has not been inspected in the past 3-year rolling plan, and also the license area and sites that were affected by the gas interruption in the past 3-year rolling plan, as well as the transmission pipeline which were peaked and also included in the integrity study, and the defect that were observed during that those peaking, as well as the integrity study. So the selection it was based in this criteria and also those sub-criteria that I just mentioned. So, ma'am, the plans are in and for the compliance inspection for the 3-year are in Annexure A1, Annexure A2, and Annexure A3. And then for the ROMCO audit are in Annexure B1, B2, and B3. And we therefore request the Public Subcommittee to approve the plans, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sekhupulo. Members, the plan is before us. I'd like to invite members' comments or maybe some guidance or maybe some enhancements, if there are any. By show of hands, members. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, for me, it's just enhancements. I think the paragraph conclusion, I'm just trying to get to it. But in the conclusion, in that paragraph, we are saying that all of the apologies, Chairperson, if I can just get to it, because I've been trying to track
Yes,
the facts.
yes, please.
But it's on paragraph 6.5. I mean, we talk about in the paragraphs before, we talk about the causes for these incidents or supply interruptions, but we mention things like third-party interference, equipment failure. But then the next sentence we say all of these supply interruptions are indication of the lack of adherence to license conditions. It cannot be that the third-party interference is a lack of. So I think if we could just polish that and say that there are also a few of these typos in the document. I will share my corrections in it. And the last thing I just wanted to confirm, Mr. Sekhupulo indicated that it's 150, but when I was reading the numbers that I was seeing is 147. I don't know if 150 is when you add ROMCO. I can just get that clarification. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pukula. Mr. Mkhize?
Thanks, Chairperson. I'm partly covered by Mr. Pukula. From my side, also on the table, I think it's going to help on table under 1.8, table 2, the summary of licenses. If there can be indication if they are operational or not, it helps what one can really have a feel as to what is the number that we are actually looking at. I think it goes with the others. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Madam Sbiya?
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to the presenter. Chair, maybe for me, it's the issue of 6.2 read with 6.5. So what the presenter said was that conclusion is 44 and 147 that were prone to gas supply interruptions. And also when he was doing the presentation, he was talking about 3 years, whilst 6.2 of the risk approach talks about not inspected in 5 years, affected by gas supply interruptions and transmission lines that were peaked in the past 5 years. So I was expecting that in the sample that was going to be audited, all of those 3 are included. Over and above that, Then he talks about what is written in 6.4, where there is they can, in addition to 6.2, conduct those audits. For example, the newly constructed site, etc. So, and I didn't see him talking about that. If they saw the need to do that, or they will see when they are doing the audit. That is the clarity I want, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Spear. Let me go back to Mr. Mkhize before the team comes in. Mr. Mkhize.
Thanks, Chairperson. There is another element that I've always been vocal about, and I think I must repeat here. We need to also explore collaboration with other authorities. And a facility in this country falls within a jurisdiction of some municipality. And even if they don't do what they're supposed to do, I think it's for us to awaken them to that thought. Because every piece of land is under some municipality, to then discuss with them, require of them, in some instances, also to have these bylaws and do things and be alive to the challenges that we are facing in our space. Let us not fail for lack of effort. What I'm saying, let's be seen to be putting effort towards that, because as we have heard in various quarters, even in the running of the country, the municipalities, they seem to be the Achilles heel. Thank you.
Is Mr. Milato and as well as Mr. Sekgopola, may you please provide responses? Specific responses. You must assist each other. Mr. Milato.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Good morning, Chair. Good morning to everyone on the call. Yeah, Chair, I will start with the first question there or enhancement by Mr. Pugula, when he said that on the issue of third-party access. Yeah, we'll polish that, Mr. Pugula, but the issue is that we've included third-party access because most of the time it comes as a result of, say, absence of pipeline markers, for instance, along the route where the pipeline traverses. And to us, sometimes we consider that as lack of compliance with regulatory requirements, because the licensee is supposed to put in pipeline markers to alert third parties that there's a presence of a pipeline. But we'll polish that sentence so that we make it this to be clear, Chair. Then on the second question about by Mr. Mkhize, that are these facilities, we need to indicate if they are operational. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll include the column, but all these facilities are there in those tables, and hence when Mr. Sekgopola opened, he said we delayed in coming with the report because there were those that were decommissioned. So we needed to revise so that we exclude them and include those that are operational in the rolling plan. But then it does not mean that those that are decommissioned, we do not inspect them. We do conduct inspection on them. But most of these that are here are operational, but we will include a column that is indicating that as such, Chair. Then 6.2, 6.5, Chair, by Ms. Sibia. I'm not sure if Mr. Sekgopola will assist with this one, Chair. I'll come back later on it, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sekgopulo. Please respond to the other questions, including the number 150 versus the number 147, and the other questions that Mr. Mulato could not deal with.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Yes, with regards to the number, like Mr. Mkhize said, as we were revising this, ma'am, like this may be a typo now to put the correct number there. Like as it said, it was 150 before, but after we removed those ones that were not actually operational, that's why we got to this number of 147. So 147, it is the one. And then with
So
regards
be
to
very clear, 147, it
yes,
is the number,
yes,
just
ma'am.
hold on. The 147 is the correct number, and that number also includes the ROMCO. And this question was posed by Mr. Pukula to try and get clarity.
Oh,
So,
yes,
and
yes.
this number is the overall number that will also include ROMCO facilities that will be inspected and where
Yes,
audits
ma'am.
are going to be conducted. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and then with regards to the Ms. Bia's question of like when I presented, I said 3 years. Yes, ma'am. I was supposed to say 5 years. Actually, 3 years is because like we normally base our plan in a 3-year rolling plan. But now when we do the assessment, we check it like in the previous 5 years. So the statement that is on the report is correct, ma'am. Thank you. It was my mistake.
There are issues of collaboration that Mr. Mkhize spoke about.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We did actually, I just have to go, ma'am. We did actually indicated that in the report that now we have the MOU with the Department of Labor as well as SAGA, and we already had meetings with these people during I think it was the safety on the pipeline, and they came and presented. So we did indicate in the report that going forward, we will be collaborating with these other authorities, including the other one that is called SAGA, who deals with I think it's mostly CNG facilities. So we do collaborate with these other authorities, Mr. Mkhize, and in the report, I'm just trying to see where did I
That's fine.
include that.
This has to do with the execution of the plan. And these collaborations have already started. So you need to just confirm to the members that they have already started, and also that the plan itself now, when it is executed, it is important to demonstrate to the members when you give feedback that you have consulted also with the municipalities for collaboration and the other organizations and the Department of Labor for when you were executing some of these inspections. Mr. Ngumalo, your hand was up, but let me take the hand from Madam Sbiya, and then you can come in if you have you want to respond to other questions that have not been responded to. Madam Sbiya?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just one question that I asked that was not responded to, where I was, when it comes to 6.2 and 6.5, the issue of aligning what is written in 6.2, where the risk approach has 3 approaches that are used, but in the conclusion in 6.5, you only mention 1. That question has not been answered by the team, because the 44, according to 6.5, is aligned to 6.2.2. What about 6.2.1? What about 6.2.3? That was my question. I'm not sure if I was clear enough. Then I had a question also linked to that, talking about 6.4, to say, how do you deal with 6.4, where you do other audits in addition to that risk approach that you mentioned in 6.2? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Sbiya. I think your questions are very clear, and I was also going to come to that because it was not responded to. Can the team please assist here? Mr. Mulatu and Mr. Ngumalo to assist in terms of alignment in those paragraphs, to clarify those numbers that are mentioned there, and also in respect of the newly constructed facilities, whether they're going to form part of this, and also respond to the third part of the question by Madam Smee.
So let me start. I think the reason I had my hand earlier on and subsequently lowered it is because you covered me in what I wanted to actually add. It was around the issue of collaboration. I wanted to indicate that I think what Mr. Mkhize was proposing is the fact that collaboration needs to be added or as an enhancement onto for the purpose of the carrying out of the plan or the inspections. With regard to the third question from Ms. Sibiya, I think that paragraph basically seeks to indicate that there will be inspections that can be conducted or are going to be conducted in addition to that list. And the reason for that is that in the course of the year, as we continue to investigate or monitor activities within the industry, we do find at times that there are certain facilities that come to attention that actually, have circumstances that require inspections. For instance, we've dealt with issues of gas supply interruptions, where we conduct investigations specifically on those areas that are reported. Chairperson, I think I just wanted to add on those two, and Mr. Mulatu then can deal with the alignment with regard to 6.2 and 6.5. I think it's just a matter of aligning those two to make sure that they talk to each other.
Mr. Mulatu, please be specific when you respond to questions, because there are numbers here, and it is because of the fact that the numbers do not make sense when you mention this number in one paragraph and the other, but you're dealing with the same things. So deal with this issue of the risk approach. How are you going to make sure that it is aligned in those paragraphs and the numbers that are mentioned there?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So on the first one, we've got 6.21 license areas that have not been inspected in the 5 years, Chair. So those, if you go to the table there on Appendix 1, or those annexures, those areas have been included. There's a population of licensed activities, and they've been identified, Chair, those that have not been inspected in the past 5 years. Then on the second one, we've got 6.22 areas that were affected by gas supply interruptions in the past 5 years have been included in the list, including those that are still going to be affected. So those ones are covered, Chair, under 6.4. Then on 6.5, Ms. Sibiya said we are not including 6.21 as well as 6.23. Yes, Chair, they are not included. I think maybe we need to enhance paragraph 6.5 so that we can include them in the paragraph. But in the plan itself, Chair, these have been included. But then it's a matter of us correcting 6.5 so that we cater for them as well in 6.5, Chair. Yeah, I think maybe my input on that one has been clear, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me check if the members are covered with the responses. Maybe let me start with Madam Spear on the last explanation that has been provided. Madam Spear, does it cover you, the explanation?
Yes, Chair, they omitted. That's what they're admitting. They need to cover it under 6.5 to also include the other two. I'm fine with the response now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Spear. Let me check with Mr. Pukula. I know that Mr. Pukula was just assisting in terms of enhancements and just also the number that did not tally. Mr. Pukula?
Thank you, Chair. I'm covered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mkhize, are you also covered?
I'm covered with the follow-up. Just to stress that one would then also look forward to seeing a multidisciplinary team or multi-stakeholder team when it comes to the execution of these inspections. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, members, then as it is clear that the team, the committee has directed that as you execute this plan, make sure that there will be collaborations from relevant institutions. So that is one thing, and you need to demonstrate that when you provide feedback to this committee. Secondly, if you can please make sure that you reconcile the numbering here, the 150 that you have mentioned on conclusion, as well as the 147, so that it is very clear what number we are referring to. The second thing is to make sure that paragraph 6.5 is corrected so that those other two that are mentioned in the actual plan are also included or reflected under 6.5. I think the other issues were just for enhancements, and also if you can try to check even spelling errors, because those are not things that we really have to spend time on, even when we authorize submissions. Where you write deliberations must be correct. It must not be something else. So those are the things that you just need to check. With that, members, I'd like members now to consider the recommendations. The recommendations are that the Pipe Gas Subcommittee is requested to approve the proposed plan relating to the compliance inspections of licensed facilities for the next 2025-2026 as shown in Annexure A1, and then for the next financial year 2026-27 the activities or the facilities are shown under Annexure A2, and then for the third year of this plan 2027-28 the facilities are enumerated in Annexure A3. The third decision that is required is that the subcommittee must then approve audits of ROMCO's licensed facilities as shown in B1 and B2 as well as B3 for the next 3 years. Members, by show of hands, if you can show your support for the decision. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Thank you, Madam Sbiya. Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. I also support. Thank you very much, members, for the support. We are now on item number 7 of the agenda, members, and this is the submission that reports back to the committee with regards to the standing instruction given to the FTRM by the energy regulator for the implementation of the initiation of inquiry or investigations in terms of Section 4D of the Gas Act. Please take the members through this submission. We've got the EM, please, so that we don't waste time, and then we can go ahead.
Chair, let me do that quickly in the interest of time. Chair, this is an inquiry that we've initiated and obviously authorized by the full-time regulator member responsible for pipe gas. Is basically to look into the commercial operations around the social gases importation, as well as allocation and how the gas from the PSA stream is being utilized. And I think members might recall that we have indicated that social gas has indicated that the PPA stream is basically experiencing a decline and will come to an end at some point. And they've started then looking at other alternative sources, and that is where basically they identified the PSA, which is the production sharing agreement, which is a new stream where the gas basically has started flowing, and this started flowing by May 2024. So it is a stream of gas that is currently being supplied to the market as imported from Mozambique. Chairperson, there was a number of variables that were not clear around the volumes involved in this stream of gas, but also how those are going to basically impact on the gas prices that will ultimately be charged by Sasol Gas. So we then deemed it appropriate to basically initiate this inquiry to look into all those factors, but also to look into the commercial arrangements that are in place between Sasol Gas and the suppliers of this gas in Mozambique to make sure that we understand fully what the terms and the conditions are, but also then come up with a report that will stipulate what the implications of this PSA importation from Mozambique are going to be. And I think that is going to assist, Chairperson, in clarifying exactly where we stand with regard to the PSA supply, and also assist when it comes to then further processing of applications for maximum prices that are going to be paid based on the PSA stream of supply. So, Chairperson, once the report is done, we will then bring it before the committee and basically present it with a clear articulation of the findings, but as well as the recommendations and basically the way forward. Chairperson, I think for now we just bringing this for the members to note the fact that this inquiry has been initiated and obviously authorized by the full-time regulator member, as I said, delegated in the delegation matrix. Chairperson, I think I'll end there. That is the purpose of the submission. Is merely just for noting of the fact that we've initiated that inquiry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngumalo. I would like to invite members of the subcommittee to maybe pose some questions of clarity. Madam Sbiya, I would like to start with you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Zwiti. Chair, I think from my side is a comment. Because a few days ago, we dealt with an issue where it was reflected that the PSA volumes are going down and therefore necessitating a need for new sources which are of a higher price. I think this investigation or this inquiry is critical that we do it so that we can get that assurance of the status of the PSA. Where is it going forward? So I'm just stating that we really need it so that we can know what is happening out there, because it has an impact on the tariff that we actually deal with. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Sbiya. Let me check if there's a hand from other members. It seems the other members are covered, and this is not necessarily an investigation. Hence, it has been put carefully there to say it is an inquiry and or an investigation if there is anything that that comes up during this inquiry when they're conducting the inquiry. Members, I would like to then check if members are happy with the recommendation. The recommendation is for members to note the initiation of the inquiry as directed by the energy regulator, that the FTRM, once it sees the features that were approved by the regulator, that the FTRM implements the regulator's decision based on those features that are in the delegation matrix. It is recommended that the Pipe Gas Subcommittee notes this initiation. Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Members, thank you, Madam Sbiya. You're also happy, Mr. Pukula, to support the noting. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Thank you, members, for the support. The last report that we are going to consider in the open meeting is the monthly volume balance report for gas coming from Mozambique to South Africa. This is for the month of April 2025.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to members, to colleagues, and members of public. The purpose of this submission is to request Pipe Gas Subcommittee to note the social gas volume balance report for the month of April 2025. During the month of April, social gas imported approximately 13.8 million gigajoules of natural gas to the South African market. And the variance percentage for April 2025 is negative 1.14. It is recommended Pipe Gas Subcommittee to note the social gas volume balance report for the month of April. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me check if members have any questions to ask, because there seem to be some, but we can take it up later on, members, because coming from that public hearing, you will note that sometimes what we have in this monthly volume balance is not aligned with what Sasol has presented. When I asked the questions deliberately, they said the gas from the the production sharing agreement, PSA, only started flowing into the South African market in July 2024. Yet from our side, we noted it as of May 2024. And this is information that comes directly from Sasol. But also, not only that, the issue of the timing, it is also about the issue of who is importing this gas. Is it Sasol or is it its sister company, Sasol South Africa, SSA? So those were the things that also needed clarity. It is that's why I just wanted to indicate those things for the members to take note of, so that some of the things that are in the application, members can get better clarity, whether those things are aligned with our monitoring of gas coming to South Africa in terms of this report, because what is in terms of this report has an impact in the tranches of gas coming from Mozambique, of which tranches of gas now form part of the cost of acquisition for purposes of the maximum price. So they're quite linked. So I just wanted to show the linkages between this and the maximum price applications. If members have any questions of clarity, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the present Chair. Thank you for clarifying that, because I think it was very critical, because it was information also that was given under oath, and it's on record. Yeah, it is a concern from my side, then that the numbers are different. Chair, I wanted to ask a question on unaccounted gas and gas losses. Those are the two. Tim, you mentioned that the variance, the threshold is 1%, but now here we are at 1.1%. The question is then what? Over and above that, we have losses. To me, they look on a high side. Maybe because I'm still fairly new in the industry. Is that acceptable to have those amount of losses? I'm assuming also in this case there will be those that are lost, like technical losses. But are they also those that are clarified non-technical? But please align it with this one that you call unaccounted for gas, to say how do we deal with this one now that is above the threshold. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Mkhize.
Thanks. Just a small issue here, Chair. Under those that have been marked as confidential, shouldn't the numbers also be marked as same, so that one does not infer from that? Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Mkhize. Tim, can you please respond? Mr. Melato, please, can you assist?
Yes, Chair. Yeah, on this one, Chair, I don't know where to start on Ms. Sibia's question on the issue of technical, non-technical losses. I know that that terminology, I think, is derived from the electricity side. On this one, Chair, I'm not familiar with non-technical. We're looking at this as
Mr. Milato, just
Yes.
answer and simplify to the members because not all of us are technical. And here, answer it in a simple way in terms of the losses in the pipeline, not necessarily the way that it will be understood from the other side. So you must state here what affects the variation of the gas that is in the pipeline. All of those components, the heat and other things that then make the number, the quantity that was in the pipeline not to come out as the same. What causes that, so that at least she can understand and all of us can understand why that change. And as Mr. Pukula used to say some years ago, there is a monetary value in this. And it now appears also in the maximum price applications, as the team mentioned, that there are also issues of unaccounted for gas, which now seems to be finding a way into the maximum prices. So there is a monetary value, and that's why even with the parties themselves, they worry. Once now the unaccounted for gas, not only here in South Africa, by the way, around the world, and hence we took that benchmark of 1% because it is not insignificant when one looks at it from the monetary value. Hence, it is an issue internationally that various companies pay attention to. So it is important that you then clarify what's happening here, and to the extent that members need to worry once it goes beyond the 1%, and hence we require some explanation and also how it gets addressed, because it cannot be allowed to continue to get to 1.5 or 2% and so forth for quite a long time. So just simplify it so that one can understand.
Yes, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Yeah, Chair was referring to non-technical and technical because that's what Ms. Sibia raised in her question, Chair. Hence, I alluded to that, Chair. But I get your point on this one. Yes, Chair. Unaccounted for gas will mainly be. Remember, this year we are doing volume balance, so it's a system balance. So what we expect is what comes in should be equals to what comes out, unless there's accumulation within the system. So we call it volume balance because everything needs to be balanced. So you need to account from production, the gas coming into the pipeline until where it is used. But then the question by Ms. Sibia was that, you're looking at table 1. He said the gas unaccounted for, it looks quite high. But if you check there, it's a negative number, Chair, and the variance is also a negative number. So meaning that you expect when you've got that number, you expect the losses to be quite high, and when it is positive, what is it that you are expecting? So yes, the losses have got a monetary value, as we are explaining, because this results from leaks in the pipeline, Chair. It results from measurement errors in the system. But we've been explaining from time to time, Chair, that because this is gas, it is compressible. It depends on the number of variables, the pressure, the temperature in the system, Chair. And they differ from time to time, depending on the operation, depending on the weather. it influences that, Chair. It depending on many factors, Chair. So you might find that the system this month is minus 1.4. Next month, it can be 0.9. So sometimes the system correct itself, but that we should not be comfortable with. At the end of the day, okay, let me make an example, Chair. Last year, we were worried about the high variance. But at the end of the financial year, you find that the variance has corrected itself. It is within the acceptable limits. But because the system is erratic on its own during operation, that is why from time to time you'll find that the variance will differ. But we've explained, Chair, last time that we talked to Sasol that we need a comprehensive report on high variance, because we cannot accept the issue that from month to month you've got variance that is sometimes higher and sometimes it is lower. The system needs to stabilize. And from the last discussion, Sasol said they were still they've commissioned service providers to look into that, Chair, so that the energy regulator gets comfort on the nature of the system, so that the variance becomes within acceptable limits. I'm saying that based on what I've said, that sometimes the system corrects itself, but we cannot just accept that, Chair. Yeah, that is what I can say, yes, Chair, at the moment. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. But it is still important, once there is an unaccounted for gas, it does have monetary value, and we've got to be concerned about it, and hence it has to be monitored. And where there are losses, and those losses, they also worry not only us, they also worry the parties themselves. And that's why they spend money to ask for service providers to look into that. And they're not doing it for fun. And they would not take board decisions, even from a ROMCO's side, to say, let's look at the system. Why do we experience high unaccounted for gas? Why do we experience the losses? Yes, we understand the temperatures and the other things, but then this thing must be corrected because there is a monetary value in it. Mr. Pokula, may you please come in? Thank
you. Thank you, Chair. Excuse me, Chair. I just wanted to add or augment in what Mr. Milato was saying, but I think, Mr. Milato, let's accept that the term technical and non-technical is a universal one. It gets used in energy carriers in general. And in this particular instance, technical would be the pressure, volume, and temperature changes. That difference in what goes in and goes out, that emanates from those changes, is the one that's technical. The one that's non-technical is when you have the leaks, as you have mentioned, and the non-calibrated meters. That is the part that's non-technical. So we can still, for the benefit of the members, still use it like that, although it will be maybe pedantic to want to make the separation between the two, but it is a universal way of looking at losses or unaccounted for energy that has been generated. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to add that.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Pokula. Thank you, colleagues. Madam Speaker, these things will continue to be monitored. Yes, it's got all of these things, but it is important that the team continues to monitor. And also, when the subcommittee has requested for a report to clarify these erratic changes that are happening, that the licensees provide such a report, and so that we can also get comfort, and also to the extent that there will be costs that will somewhat get into the maximum price application. Those are the things that we have to make sure that we monitor them through this report as well, so that we can avoid a situation where they have not been addressed here, and they find their way into the recovery through the price. With that, members, I would like to then take the members to the decision that is sought, and the decision that is required is that the Pipe Gas Subcommittee is requested to note the monthly volume balance for the month of April 2025, and note the gas amount that was delivered through the ROMCO pipeline in April, and also to note the volume that was that belongs to Kwande, not only the one from Sasol, but also from Kwande, which is a small importer for the month of April. That ROMCO has delivered that the amounts that are stated under sub paragraph D, and that that ROMCO has delivered also that number for Sasol as well as ENH, and that the amount that is mentioned under paragraph F was delivered to the South African markets during the month of April to meet the annual contractual obligations of the importers, as well as the gas trade transportation agreements that they have with the ROMCO. So the volume variance for April is sitting at minus 1.14%, which is outside the set threshold of 1%. The summary is on the table, table 5, for purposes of the decision. By show of hands, members, if you support the decision as read out. Thank you, Madam Sbia. Thank you, Mr. Mkhize. Thank you, Mr. Pukula. Thank you very much, members. Members, as indicated, this is now the last report that we had to consider in the public meeting. With that, I would like to thank the members of the public that were following our discussions today. We have come to the part where we now close the meeting so that we can consider governance matters. We thank you for your time. We'll ask IT to then stop the live streaming.